Welcome to the Setup and Risk Control segment of Trading in Sidebars. Find setups today, make money tomorrow. I'm your instructor, Frank Bunn. Inside bar patterns are complete at setup. The trader does not have to intuit the pattern completion as with complex price patterns. Therefore, the entry interval price action should open within the inside bar range or outside in the direction of the setup. Let's take a look at trade setup trigger number 1. We are going to establish the inside bar high or low as the breakout using a buy or sell stop limit order. For longs, we will establish the buy stop at the inside bar interval plus 3 cents. And for the short, we will establish the sell stop at the IB interval minus 3 cents as seen here in the chart graphic. Limits are variable depending on the price of the security, liquidity, and volume, and are at the discretion of the trader. In this example, we can see an inside bar high plus 3 cents establishing our stop limit. Here's an example short. We see the inside bar low minus 3 cents, enabling us to establish our stop limit. Let's take a look at trade setup trigger number 2. Here we establish the point 1 breakout as our entry, initiating a buy or sell stop limit over or under point 1. So for longs, we have point 1 high plus 3 cents for our buy stop. For shorts, we establish point 1 minus 3 cents for our sell stop limit. Remember again, limits are variable depending on the price of security, liquidity, and volume. Here we see the same long setup we analyzed previously, except this time we have the point 1 high as our entry, establishing a buy stop limit 3 cents over the point 1 high level. Conversely, here is the same short setup we analyzed, this time using the point 1 low as our sell stop limit, minus 3 pennies. Pattern recognition skill for inside bars is different than that of complex patterns because the pattern is complete at the trigger. Therefore, you simply need to determine the significant impulse into point 1 and verify the pattern key, and also verify that the trend corresponds to your sample. You always want to be entering these trades in the same type of trend context. This gives your sample homogeneity. Also remember that the entry bar price action should be within the IB range or the breakout in the direction of your trade. Then, set your breakout at the inside bar high or low or the point 1 high or low. Remember, limits for your order are variable depending on the close, liquidity, and spread at the time of order entry. Here's our long example again, which details the entry bar price action. Notice how it opens inside the range of the inside bar. This is what creates your breakout when your stop order is triggered. Let's take a look at risk analysis for trigger 1. Our initial risk stop placement will be 1. The inside bar low or high plus or minus 5 cents, or for stop 2, the entry or breakout bar low or high plus or minus 5 cents. This is typically used for trigger 2. Here we can see our long example again where we establish our risk with an initial stop 5 cents below the inside bar low. This is stop 1. Conversely, for a short, we see our initial stop placed 5 cents over the inside bar high. This is stop 1 and establishes our initial risk amount. Let's take a look at risk analysis for trigger 2. Here we have our initial risk stop placement either at the inside bar low or high plus or minus 5 cents, or for stop 2, we have the entry or breakout bar low or high plus or minus 5 cents. Again, stop 2 is generally used for the trigger number 2 entry. Taking another look at our long example, we see here we have first established our buy stop over point 1 and our initial sell stop at the IB low minus 5 cents. This is stop number 1. Here is stop number 2. With our breakout over point 1, we can establish our maximum risk stop at the entry bar low minus 5 cents. This is stop number 2. Reversing this procedure for shorts, we initially see we have our breakout below point 1, and we can establish our maximum risk with a buy stop 5 cents over the IB high. This is stop number 1. Next, we see the same breakout below point 1, but this time we establish our maximum risk 5 cents over the entry bar high. Notice that in these cases, we have the proper price action at the entry bar open, within or outside the range of the inside bar. This enables us to establish a low or a high for stop 2. Let's take a closer look at this stop 2 logic and how it can be used to reduce risk. Remember that the entry bar price action should be within the inside bar range. Since inside bars tend to be pennants or wedge patterns on lower intervals, the inside bar range-bound price action during the entry bar should prompt immediate follow-through at the inside bar high or low breakout. Therefore, the entry bar low should be the interval low, and this facilitates stop 2. Stop 2 is generally the lowest risk. Therefore, if you establish lower initial maximum risk, your targets can be closer. Let's take a look then how we can use risk to determine our maximum risk calculation. We will determine this setup risk prior to entry. Therefore, risk then can be a position sizing determinant and also a trade management tool. For long risk calculation, we will be taking either the inside bar high minus the inside bar low, plus or minus our slippage, this will be our long risk, or our 0.1 high minus the inside bar low, plus or minus the slippage, and this will be long risk. Remember, we're establishing our buy stops 3 pennies over our interval levels, or the 0.1 level, and our initial maximum risk stop 5 cents below the inside bar level. For short risk calculations, we use the inverse. For the inside bar high minus inside bar low, our short risk is established by subtracting the high minus the low plus and minus our slippage. For 0.1 breakouts, we will establish our IB high minus the 0.1 low plus or minus our slippage to establish the short risk. There are several ways to position size for risk or amount. When sizing for risk-based games, we want to make sure that risk is constant. If risk is constant, then our position size will naturally vary. If we are sizing for position amount for an account management strategy, position size will be constant and risk will vary. Here's the sizing for risk quotient. Take your total risk amount divided by your maximum risk, and this will give you trade lot size. If you're sizing for position amount, the quotient is specified size divided by entry price. This will give you your trade lot size. In this case, specified size is the amount of your initial position, let's say $10,000. You would simply divide $10,000 by your entry price to get your trade lot size. Let's take a look at where we are right now in the training. We understand how the inside bar patterns are triggered with the inside bar high or low breakout or the 0.1 breakouts. You should be able to quickly analyze risk, understand how to calculate maximum risk, and be able to size positions for risk. Remember, risk is a component of trade management, and risk-based games are one of the easiest ways to ensure your long-term consistent profitability. Remember, patterns are complete at setup, enabling the trader to effectively analyze for risk and size positions. This is ideal for shorter intervals. You want to focus on the impulse and ensure the pattern precision and pattern key are in effect. Then, watch the entry bar price action for proper behavior. Once you are able to anticipate your entry, you can analyze your risk and size the position accordingly. This concludes the setup and risk control segment of Trading in Sidebars. Find setups today, make money tomorrow. I'm your instructor, Frank Bunn.